So just a quick update on the dungeons and what's going on. So the one I was printing for the past couple days, because like I told you before, it takes a day and 18 hours just to make the main cell part of it. For some reason, it didn't finish. Oh, what's going on here? Sonic. Well, let's do a sound check. There we go. All right. So again, it takes a day and 18 hours to make just the main frame. And for some reason, this one right here stopped printing with only like half a brick left to go. Actually, more than half a brick, about that much left of the brick. But if I print it from the bottom up, let me turn these over. You can see right where it stopped printing right here, and it still had that much left. So unfortunately, those who are waiting get to wait a little bit longer before I get yours done. And this one will be on eBay as another scratch and dent sell that somebody can buy, starting bid $1. And for the guy that's waiting for the full completed finished one, I just finished sanding yours. Check this out. It's nice and smooth and ready to go to the next step, which is the resin. So then I'll be coating it with resin pretty soon. But it's looking pretty good. And so this is where I'm at on yours right now. And so it's going to still take a little bit of time to get the resin done on all the parts. But I want to let you know. Now, for those that have bought the raw ones, and some people have already got them, I found 120 grit sandpaper works the best for knocking down some of these sides. Now, I was printing this upside down because one of my viewers said, hey, start printing upside down, you'll save plastic. And he was right. I did save a lot of plastic. In fact, it saves me about, it sounds crazy, but it saves me about between $20 to $30 to print it upside down. Because when I print it upside down, the amount of plastic I saved allows me to print 2 dungeons with 1 spool instead of 1 per spool. But because it was just a little past half before. But the bad part is the window is right here. And when I print it right side up, it has supports going down here and leaves the yucky mess on the bottom of the window. As you saw in my last video, when I printed it upside down, the yucky mess is on the top of the window. You can see right here, it's already formed right there. And so to get this off, it is also quite the pain, because you have to break this off. Let's see if I can do it or not without too much hassle. Ooh, you can do it. Let me aim that lower. Oh, sometimes it's so delicate. I never know if I'm going to break the dungeon or the supports, but you got to break all these supports off. And inside the window is 1 piece, so you end up having to snap the plastic on here, you know, for the supports to get it out. When I print it right side up, you don't have this problem of the supports going inside the window. So from now on, I'm going to print them right side up. Yes, it's going to cost more to produce them, but it'll make a higher quality print. And I won't have this huge issue of trying to break this out of the window every single time. I suppose I could heat it up. I want to make it a little easier. Ooh, ooh. You can do it. What a hassle. Yeah, it's funny. The other night I was breaking one of these apart to get the window out, and my wife just saw these pieces of plastic flying because I was on the couch doing it, and she's like, what are you doing? And I said, well, I don't want to give it to somebody until I get this out myself, because it's kind of a scary thing to break this window out of here. Ugh. You know, if you don't do it right, you're going to end up damaging the actual structure. Whew, what a mess. All right, where'd I put those pliers at? I had some big pliers sitting around. I must have, oh, they're on the floor. Ugh. Don't want to step on them. So, like I said, this will be the last one I print upside down. Going back to the old style So I won't have this problem with the window anymore. Just gets so stuck in there. Ugh. Let's see if I can get this thing out of here. Oh, no, I lost my microphone. There we go. All right, let me check your guys' comments. See what you're saying. Ugh. Come on. Hey, Mike. So the good news is the one I just mailed off yesterday, I already broke this piece out of the window for you. So you don't have to worry about trying to take this piece off. What a pain. I tell you, these supports, as necessary as they are a necessary evil. And so if you can ever plan your prints to not have supports inside the middle of your build, it makes life so much easier. Now, you can get something called a dual extractor and have your secondary extractor make your supports out of material that is water. You just use water to dissolve it, but those take a lot longer to print and a lot more money for the dual extruder too. Ugh. What a pain. Pain, pain, pain. So once I get this out of here, like I said, the starting bid for this will be $1 for this broken piece. Now, all it's broken about it is it just didn't finish printing. So after I get this window out of here, it'll look fine. But if you wanted to make this work, you can see it's just a little bit shorter. So you could take and build up some sort of base on the bottom to lift it up. And I know there's somebody online that bought one of the other scratch and dent ones. They're lifting theirs a lot so that the opening is actually wide enough for the figure to fit through. That's kind of a cool idea. Since I did print it upside down, at least the top is complete on this one, being it printed this way. But anyway, let's take a look at your guys' comments. Where is my garbage can? It's like trying to pull this sculpture out of this hardened plastic. I actually have thought of making a toilet before. It's funny, is in the throne of my Classics Castle Grayskull, I have a plunger sitting behind it, behind the throne, kind of as a joke, like the throne is his bathroom. So that's kind of funny. That's why I got these big pliers here. We almost got it. The window is almost out. Hooray. Whew. Now, what I was talking about was when you're printed upside down like I did, you end up with this mess right there in the windowsill, which takes a lot of sanding and smoothing and cleaning to get that out of there. Where if you print it right side up, you have a little bit you have to sand out of there, but not nearly as bad. But then you end up with it on the bottom, which nobody's going to see anyway. So much better design doing it the other way around. All right. Anyway, my link to my auctions are in the description. I haven't put this on there yet, but it should be probably in about an hour or less. I just got to take pictures of it and then toss it on there. And just a quick recap for the guy that's waiting for your final finished castle. I just finished sanding it today. I'll be resin coating it sometime today and then finishing up the other pieces. They're already all printed. Just a matter of resin coating them, sanding them smooth, and putting the paint on. So there you go. All right, let me set the nice one aside. It's funny too, you get all these little supports. I've never seen something 3D printed, but after it's 3D printed, like these bricks stick out because I try to make them look kind of organic looking by having them all over the place. Because they stick out, it has to create these supports in order to hold the bricks up when it's printing. See, let me find another spot. Like right here, for instance, you can see this brick sticks out a little further than the rest. So it makes this support right here that then supports those bricks that are sticking up. So it's kind of fun to pull these little supports off. These are way easier to pull off than all the other pieces. See, this brick sticks way out too. I remember when I first made this, it was funny. I actually made each brick individually in 3D and then stacked them all together to make the dungeon. That's like, it's people say, hey, just make it taller. It's like, you don't understand the amount of effort and work it took to produce this on the computer to begin with. So anyway, I'm probably not going to pull all the supports off. You'll end up still having some when you get it. All right, let's look at you guys' comments. Let's see. Can it be faster using a rotary tool? It probably could be, and I was tempted at trying to use some sort of tool to sand this out, but just because I fear some stuff, I didn't. You can see right here it's rough on top too. Like I was telling you guys, where it gets rough. So again, whoever gets this one will have to smooth that out and then maybe put something in it to smooth it out. All right, so let's see. You should auction your Eternia playset at $1. Rick, I don't actually have an Eternia playset. Sorry, man. I'd love to have one, but I don't have one right now. That would be cool. Yes, we can tell you love to take that extra plastic out, laughing out loud. Yep, Juan, it is kind of fun. Now, so what I use for sanding these is I use 120 grit sandpaper, just a sheet that you have in your hand, and just sand it. Amazon has them for like $7 for 3 sheets. And so if you guys get the raw ones, you may want to sand them. And I'm surprised this one came out really good. In fact, technically, if I was going to work on this one and I wasn't going to resin coat it, it'd probably come out fine. It's actually smooth enough. Just a nice thick coat of paint would probably cover up most of any kind of defects on here without using a resin coat. So it came out pretty good. So, yep, I'm pretty happy with that one. All right, let me get some other comments. Rick. Yes, Rudy, it is a pain. It's the safest in the plastic, so I'm not going to print anymore upside down. Granted, it's going to cost me about an extra 25 bucks in plastic, because then I have to use one spool per dungeon, or if I did it upside down, it was just under half a spool, so I was able to do 2 with 1. But even though this was the second half of the spool, something happened. I don't even know what caused it to stop. It just, and I went out this morning to look at it. It was all shifted over like it was done. So I didn't even look at it to pay attention to notice this edge was like that, undone. And I pulled it off, and I started to head upstairs thinking, all right, I got one done. And I looked at it, and I'm like, what? That's not right. And then I realized it stopped printing, and it wasn't out of plastic. I'm not even sure why it stopped printing. And unfortunately, I turned it off. Without my glasses, I can't see what the screen said. I just thought it said completed, but it might have actually had an error on the screen I didn't see. So hopefully the printer's still working. Hopefully it's not a malfunction that is going to be something serious. Otherwise, this may be the end of the production for a while. So we'll see, which is why I never ask anybody for money up front, because I hate asking for money up front not knowing what's going to happen, because sometimes things just go wrong. You know, I would love to work for Mattel. I actually contemplated doing that one time, but I really didn't want to move to California. That would have been really cool. But yeah, working for Mattel would be like a dream come true. That'd be so cool. Yes, Rick, the Eternia playset is super expensive. I know. I'm kicking myself for not buying it. It was down to 1,000. I saw one complete years ago for 1,000. Oh, $1,000. That's crazy. And now I'm like, oh, only 1,000? Which still, $1,000 is a lot of money, don't get me wrong. But it was it's kind of funny how one thing used to be so cheap. That's like even my Castle Grayskull for classics. At one time they were down to 150, and I hesitated and didn't buy one at that price. And of course now you can't touch them for under $1,000. It's like, man, I should have bought that extra Castle Grayskull, and I could have taken the dungeon out of one of them. That'd been cool. Hey, thanks, Rick. I appreciate you saying I'm talented. All right, well, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Let's see, maybe Origins will. Oh, that'd be cool if Origins made a Eternia playset. You know, I would have really loved the classics one. Oh, that'd have been so cool. I mean, look at that Snake Mountain. It is amazing, 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 amazing Snake Mountain. But anyway, yeah, Fright Zone would be cool too. $19 for Grayskull. Nice. All right. Well, like, subscribe, tell your friends. I need to get back to work on finishing up the one I'm working on, and then I have to order more plastic to print another one of these. So if you're waiting for one right now, a raw one, it's going to take a while for Amazon to send plastic, and then I'll start the print again. So that's kind of where we're at. And for the one guy, you know who you are. All your parts are printed, like I told you a couple days ago. Now I just got to finish doing the resin coatings. All right, like, subscribe, tell your friends. See you guys next video. Hopefully I have some more tonight that are cool, so we'll see what happens. Thanks, you guys. Bye now.